So since my tagline is we are all superheroes, we are all constantly battling the forces of evil. We have an angel on this shoulder and a demon on this shoulder, and in between is our head, which is our free will. Which way is our head tilting that day? Since the dark is all-knowing and extremely strategic, I thought it was important to make this video letting people know exactly what the dark goes after and exactly how the dark goes after it. It's pretty smart, and again, the dark is all-knowing. So the dark knows your hidden, weaknesses, fears, desires, etc. And so it plays off of all of them. So the purpose of this video is really to raise awareness so that you guys understand the dynamics of what's happening with you energetically. It's really not meant to antagonize or to scare you guys, but just raise awareness because knowledge is power. And I wanted you guys to know what's happening with universal energies. Okay, what is the dark interested in? When the dark looks at your soul and they want to tear you down and completely ruin your life and hopefully lead to your demise. What is the dark looking at? Well, number one, life purpose. What is your life purpose? Because life purpose is the truth. And your life purpose comes straight from the divine, also known as the truth and the light. So the dark represents the opposites, falsities. So what is the dark going to try to do? They're going to try to pull you away from your truth and your light and the divine himself. So it's going to work really, really hard to pull you away from your life purpose. Got to get you away from your life purpose and the truth. Don't want you pursuing that at all. Why? Because pursuing your life purpose is going to make you happy. It's going to improve your connection to the divine. You're going to open up your heart to humanity and share your God-given gifts and talents with everyone. And so it's going to boost your vibe. It's going to bring you closer to the divine, his angels, the light, etc. Well, the dark doesn't want that. The dark's trying to pull you away from the light. So it has to pull you away from truth and helping humanity. Helping humanity, yuck, bleh, gross, no, ew, We don't want you doing that. That pulls you away from us. That weakens our influence over you as the dark. We don't want that at all. So we're going to sabotage you. And the way we are going to sabotage you is we are going to use your friends, family, coworkers, acquaintances, etc. to get to you. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to have them instill fear in pursuing your life purpose. Doubt, I'm concerned about you. I'm a loved one and I care about you. I'm concerned about your well-being. I feel like, you being an artist is going to compromise your well-being and you're just going to completely starve. Or, you being an actor, an actress, you're just going to fall flat on your face. So it comes across as practicality when really it's just fear. So are your friends and family speaking for the dark without realizing it? If they're pulling you away from your truth, your life purpose, your heart-focused work, yes, they are without realizing it. Another thing is, what if your parents are coming from a place of ego? You've embarrassed the family. Is this how I raised you? I raised you to go to law school and be an attorney. How dare you become a writer? That's weak. You're going to be, you're going to be a starving musician. You're going to be a starving artist. You're going to be a starving, freelance writer or whatever. Yeah. So ego, what is everyone going to think? Status, money, power. Go be an attorney. What are you doing? It's practical. But it's also pulling you away from your truth if it's not your heart-focused work. So that leads us to the next point is they're going to start going through, the dark's going to start coming at you through friends, family, whatever, people in your ear, trying to influence you and pull you away from your life purpose and still doubt. How are you going to do that? You know how much competition there is out there? Good luck. I'm just saying it because I care and I love you. I'm just saying it. I don't want you to end up on the street. Fear disguised as practicality. And then the dark's going to come at you directly through negative emotion. Fear, doubt, ego, everything. Depression. If the dark can get you in a state of anxiety or depression, they have you. They've got a toehold. they've got their hand around your neck, basically, because your vibration matches that of the dark. They don't ever want you to be happy. And I really, really need you guys to understand this. The dark doesn't ever want you to be happy. The dark is not your friend. You have to understand that if you are happy, you just screwed up your connection to the dark. So that's why like turning on music and dancing around and laughing and telling jokes and being jovial is the opposite. That's how to pull yourself away from the dark, which is one of the reasons why the other side is so obsessed with musicians. Pulling people away from the dark, raising their vibration. Yeah, dark doesn't want that. Hates it. Hates it. They lose their control over you. They lose their influence over you if you're too happy because you're not an energetic match for them. So that's why it's so important for you to pay close attention to your negative emotion and make sure it's not dragging you down closer to the dark and increasing their influence over you, because you're essentially, it's like a downward spiral, basically. Life purpose, another way they can come after you. I should probably list these under here just so you guys have them. I did in my notes, so why not? Okay, so they're going to come at you, right? How are they going to screw up your life purpose? They're going to come at you through friends, families, coworkers, acquaintances, etc. They're going to come at you through negative emotion. And then the third one, how are they going to come at you, is free will. The dark can influence the free will of other people. Because everybody has free will. Everyone has that demon and angel on their shoulder. So suppose the dark influenced the person you were auditioning for, or the person you wanted to like sign with, or the person you were interviewing with, and suppose you got rejected. Well, suppose you were walking a really, really sensitive path where you weren't really sure you had what it took as a singer or a dancer or, an actor or actress. And this rejection really hit you hard because you really wanted to be signed and you really needed that agency to represent you. Well, suppose you're really sensitive to that rejection and that just completely deters you from your path and you're just like, forget it, they didn't want me. I'm not good at this. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. Just forget it. Well, that rejection can sink inside you really deep and really, really affect you and throw you off path and just force you into, a different job in a different way. So that's where it's really important to remember, Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected by 144 publishers. And, Jack Canfield was talking about it, and on his Facebook page, he wrote, reject the rejection, which I think is awesome advice. Just reject the rejection. And he was saying, I wouldn't be here talking to you today if I didn't. So, and on his Facebook page, I saw this today, he also added letters of rejection that other people had received, such as U2, Madonna, Tim Burton. What if those people stopped moving forward? What if, Bono just said, forget it, we suck. Right? Bono, has a lot of influence over people. He's made a lot of, great political statements in his work. He's very motivational, inspiring to people. His lyrics speak to people. His music speaks to people. So what if he had just said, forget it? That's his hard focused work. That's his life purpose. What if he allowed, that rejection letter to deter him? Gotta be brave, man. Gotta keep putting one foot in front of the other. And, perseverance is going to be really important because, the other side, the dark, this is what they want. This is what the dark wants. They want to knock you down. They want, you to experience failure and rejection. Because then while you're sad and you're in a puddle, on the floor crying, that's when the dark is like, ha, 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 we got you. We got you. You're sad. You're depressed. We got you. We're just going to take you down. So perseverance, courage, one of my favorite quotes, it ain't how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And you know who said that? Rocky Balboa. There you go. Rocky Balboa said that. So I agree with that, actually. When I look back at my path, oh yeah, it's how hard you can get hit and keep going. For sure. Because I've taken some harsh blows on this path too, and you just keep getting up. I remember at one point on my path, I literally felt myself get knocked down every single day. It was like the spiritual face plant every single day. And I got up. I got back up every single day and just kept on going. I had a choice to make. Get up or stay down. I got back up. So that quote really speaks to me. Perseverance, you guys. Perseverance. Another thing that they're saying is to focus on pure intentions. You know, how many times have I seen an interview with like an actor or an actress where they're like, I never wanted to be famous. I just loved acting. I always loved acting. You know, it was my heart. It's what I wanted to do. And I remember thinking, yeah, you never wanted to be famous, because if you just wanted to be famous, that would be your ego guiding you forward. And that's not how it works. You know, if your ego is guiding you forward and you just want fame and power and money and influence, well, you're being guided forward by the dark, in which case I strongly suggest you take a U-turn immediately. You don't want to be doing that. It means you don't have the support of universal energies in reaching that goal because your intentions are impure. Are you trying to help humanity with your heart? No. No. You're sitting there taking the stance of what's in it for me. So universal energies aren't going to rise up to support you with that attitude or belief system or intent. Now, another way the dark is going to come after you is via personal relationships, like romantic relationships, where not all romantic partners are blessings from God. Not all romantic partners are brought unto your path from the light. Some of them are controlling narcissists. One of the worst things I've seen is emotional manipulation, where you just have puppet strings attached to yourself and they control you with emotional manipulation. One of the worst relationship dynamics you can have is when you actually feel sorry for your partner. Because if they know they have you wrapped around their pinky finger because you feel sorry for them, they're going to take advantage of that, some of them. And they're going to emotionally manipulate you and control you with that, with guilt, you know, and you're going to make all these compromises and concessions that you wouldn't normally make, because you feel sorry for them. So you have to be really, really careful with that kind of energy. Absolutely. That kind of relationship dynamic. Another thing is if you are trying to rescue your partner, they can pull you down even further. As opposed to you pull them up, they pull you down, and then both of you are like, you know, on the ground, sad, depressed, and energetic matches for the dark to influence both of you. You know, another thing is you have to be very, very conscious of whether or not your life partner supports your life purpose. Does your romantic relationship support your life purpose? Because they could be one of the people speaking for the dark. They could be one of the people saying, oh, you know, that's not practical, you shouldn't pursue that path, blah, 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 blah. You know, people in my industry have a huge issue with this, where maybe you find out, like I did later in life, what your true life purpose is, and you go from marketing executive to medium. Well, you know, if I was married, I mean, I'm not married, I'm single, but if I was married, my romantic partner could have some serious problems with that. Christine, you're embarrassing the hell out of me. Why do you have to talk about spirit guides at parties? Just shut the hell up. You know, go get a real job. I'm sick of this. You know, I can't relate to anything you're saying, blah, blah, blah. You know, what if I reinvented the wheel on my husband? It's tough. It's tough because my husband would have a free will decision at that point whether or not to support me on my path, right? It's totally up to him. It's totally within his control. So he has free will. He can leave if he wants. But the problem is if he decided not to support me in my life purpose and we stayed together, we would lose universal support in staying together as a partner. Universal energies would not support us staying together anymore, because we would be considered energetically incompatible for one another. He would be casting shame at me for speaking my truth, and that's a huge no-no to them. So they would have to do something. Light would have to separate out from that point. At that point, another thing the light will do is if you're in a relationship where they don't feel like you're being treated as well as you could be, and you've just gotten used to a certain standard. You've been with this romantic partner for so long, and you've just gotten used to this standard. they'll bring somebody else onto your path. They'll bring a male or female friend onto your path to show you, hey, this is how it feels to be treated with respect. Hey, this is how it feels to be, treated with love and kindness and care and compassion and affection. So they'll try to show you the light that way. If you've gotten used to a certain way of living, they'll try to bring somebody else onto your path just to show you, like, hey, FYI, this is how it feels. Just to kind of make you look at things closer and really analyze what you have going on. And another thing is within, romantic relationships is soulmates. The dark can't stand it when two soulmates are together. It's like, what's this lovey-dovey squish fest? Blech! We gotta break this up. That is just love, and more love. Yuck. We gotta break this up. So that's when they try to sabotage your relationship. Now, how do they do that? Well, they see us as mortals, so they try to go for the jugular. They're going to bring other people onto your path to lure you in with sex. So maybe they'll bring, a really good-looking male or a really good-looking female onto your path to lure you in with sex. They'll cater to your ego, because walking down the street with a model on your arm, is considered higher social status. So they'll cater to your ego with that. Maybe they'll pull you away with money. They'll bring somebody on your path that has more money, so they'll try to draw you away with that. They have like all sorts of things they can do to try to break people up. Drugs, alcohol, substance abuse. They'll try to do all sorts of stuff. Sorry, I think I have a cat hair on my face. That's why I keep touching it. Whatever. Tootsie! Too many kisses. He gets so many smoochies throughout the day. He's one big puffball. So another way the dark tries to guide you forward is through ego. They are going to cater to this. They're going to cater to your ego. So that was what I was just saying, like money, power, fame, influence. How do you see yourself when you look in the mirror? That matters. There's your ego. Your ego affects your decisions. How do I look to my friends, family, neighbors, kids? How do I look? Keeping up with the Joneses, money, the car, the house, the purses, the shoes, the jewelry, whatever. Keeping up with the Joneses, appearances. How do I look? Well, they're going to go after that too. They're going to try to pull you away, especially from your life purpose with money. Obviously. This is an easier path. It's a smoother path. And there's more money. Of course you just want to go. Helping humanity. Who cares about humanity? Go for the money. Are you kidding me? What's in it for you? So the dark will sell you on ego, money, status, power, etc. Which are impure intentions yet again. Another thing I just want to be clear is just because you're pursuing your life purpose doesn't mean the divine's not going to bring money onto your path. That's what you do. When you pursue your life purpose, you make your deal with the universe. And you say, okay, universe, I will pursue X, Y, and Z in exchange for financial abundance, love, spiritual fulfillment at my core, happiness, etc. So you make your deal with the universe, and that involves financial abundance. I don't want you to think it's either or. Yeah, hard focused work, I am going to start. No, the universe is going to rise up to support you in that. So, yeah, no. I don't want you guys to think that it's like, oh, well, the money is, over there. It's like, no, it can be your life purpose too, so you know. Okay, another thing that they're going to go after hardcore. Oh, man, I see this all the time. Intuitive development. And this is a shout out to my fellow intuitives. Holla! Some people are meant to develop their intuition for personal use. Some people are meant to develop their intuition for professional use. I do sessions with both. And if I read for someone who's supposed to be a professional intuitive, that's when I really see the target on their back. We are all superheroes, but if it's part of your life purpose to speak for the light, the dark's going to go after you hardcore. They're just going to try to grab you by the pants and just pull you down to the ground. Yeah, they're going to try to pant you. You're a big target. Getting rid of you is like knocking a king or queen off the chessboard. Blink. because they don't want you speaking for the light. They don't want you working for the light. So they're going to go after you hardcore. But that's where you can't be deterred. You have to keep moving forward and give the dark the middle finger. The dark is always nipping at my heels. Look what I do. Look at my life purpose. My life purpose is to align other people with their life purpose. Well, how do you think the dark feels about that? They hate my freaking guts. They're always nipping at my heels. You know what I do? I turn around and I give them the middle finger and I say, F you, go away. And it works. I cast them away from me. I do like a bunch of witchy stuff and I just cast the darkness away from me. Say, darkness, go away, I have no time for you. I encircle myself in the pure white light of God's love and divine protection. Burning, Palo Santo, white candles, crystals, everything. Yeah, so we have the power, not the dark. That's one of the things that I wanted to mention. We have the power, not the dark. So don't let it boss you around because you're a superhero. But the intuitive development is a sensitive thing because people are already walking a path where it's like, I don't know about this. This is kind of creepy. Like, what if I end up talking to like Joker spirits or demons or something? Woo! They're afraid. They're afraid. So fear is going to play a big role in that. The Bible, I have a video called Is the Bible Pulling You Away from Your Angels? And, in the Bible it says, necromancy, it's evil to talk to, the other side. It's like, no, the Bible just pulled you away from your spirit guides. They just pulled you away from intuitive development, saying that you should be ashamed of yourself. That's wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. The Bible was written by mortals. They were wrong. Sorry. Thank you for pulling people away from the light and their angels and the divine himself. No. And then, people just walking around saying this is stupid. Self-doubt, you have to believe to achieve. It's like, you're talking to nobody. You have all the atheists throwing stones at you saying that you're an idiot for even thinking spirit guides exist. So they're going to come after you too. But yeah, just telling you that you're stupid and casting shame at you for even trying to develop your intuition because it's just all in your head. It's all your imagination. They really don't exist when they do. And intuitive development's really important. Another thing that's super duper important that I mentioned earlier is vibration. Like I said, when your vibration is low, your overall mental and emotional state is low. That's when the dark can influence you the most. So make sure you have a nice, calm, loving, happy state of mind. If you don't, go exercise, eat healthy, listen to music, snuggle some animals, go hang out with your friends, whatever you need to do to boost your vibration, however temporary. Go do it. Pursue your favorite hobbies, your favorite activities, whatever you have to do in order to show yourself love. Another thing is like, what's your attitude about yourself and life? Are you an optimist or a pessimist? That's going to make a difference because you can manifest things with your thoughts. Having personal power, not letting the dark boss you around. But your vibration is going to be really, really important. So make sure you preserve it. The light is also going to work hard to preserve your vibration. If somebody has been emotionally hurt, from a breakup or something, the light will go after them hardcore to try to heal them. Because it'll be really important to boost your vibration and bring you back up to the light again after you just got completely heartbroken and knocked down. Along these same lines, the vibration, your vibration also has a lot to do with your self-love. What is your inner dialogue throughout the day? Are you proud of yourself? Are you satisfied with who you are? Do you love yourself? Because the dark is going to go after this hardcore. That critical inner voice we have, the dark is going to go after you hardcore, and it's going to try to take you down through self-doubt and lack of self-love and just shame, beating yourself up, self-judgment, whatever the dark can do. It's going to try to take you down. And all in an effort to decrease your vibration and bring you closer to their influence, and they're going to go after your self-love. So that's why when you're in a state of casting love at others and casting love at yourself, you're boosting your vibration. You're in a really good spot. Another thing is they're going to utilize your role models to influence you. They're going to go after your influencers. So maybe your role models will be speaking for the dark. Does your role model smoke a lot of pot and encourage you to do the same? Well, smoke is bad for your lungs. It's a toxin. So they're speaking for the dark and encouraging you to do that. Maybe your role models, encouraging you to be promiscuous. And then you do that and you end up catching an STD. It's like, drink alcohol, do this, do that, disrespect people, treat them this way, you're the boss, whatever. it's all coming from a place of ego. So maybe your role model has a big ego and then they appeal to yours, and then the dark has you in their grasp. So just be careful who you're listening to and who you're allowing to influence you, because the dark can come after, a lot of people. And you never really know who they're speaking through, to be honest. That's why you have to use your own intuition and your own discernment and decide for yourself. So, that's pretty much what I just wanted to add. Just one last thing that I brought up already, but I'll just write it here. If you're a light worker, if it is your job to speak for the dark, just be extra careful and just be extra aware that it's like you are a bigger target, and you're like a nice juicy steak for them. Oh boy, light worker, let's go get him. But not if you keep your vibe high. If you have pure intentions and you're coming from a place of love and light and wanting to connect people to their spirit guides and heal them. Maybe you're a Reiki master, naturopath, animal communicator, what have you. It's like you're working for the light, so just keep going. Just keep going. You're protected. But yeah, like I said, the purpose of this video was just all about raising awareness, because I just want you guys to be aware of this dynamic. I was thinking back to my life before I knew about this, when I didn't believe in the law of attraction. I didn't think it existed. I didn't really know what universal energies were. I was thinking, was my life more peaceful? Like, was ignorance bliss? And the answer is no. Because when I look at all the cleanup my spirit guides had to do, they had to literally put the car in reverse and back me out of this path that I had walked so far down, and all these incorrect decisions that I had made that weren't aligned with me or who I was. It was like my life became a situation of erase and rewind. I'm like, God, I wish I knew all this back then. I would have made a lot less mistakes. And that's why I just think it's really important to lead a conscious life. So, like I said, I'm not telling you this to scare you. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to freak you out where it's like, oh, I got demons floating around my house. It's like, no, I'm just saying it's like an energy. It's an influence. It's a subtle influence. It's not like, you're watching, a scary movie or whatever, and the zombie shows up in the mirror behind you. It's not like that. It's this subtle influence, ego, pride, fear, a negative emotion, pulling you away from your truth. This is all, them just trying to pull you away from your truth, basically. So that's why you are being guided forward by your own truths. And that's why it's so important to embrace your truths, because it'll bring you closer to the divine. But awareness is key, and knowing this dynamic is happening with universal energies, and how they're responding to your free will decisions and your soul and your thoughts and your beliefs and your attitudes and your emotions, it brings you to a higher level of existence, just knowing this dynamic is going on, because I really do eat, sleep, and breathe the law of attraction, and it's made all the difference in the world for me. It really helps. Just staying optimistic about the future. Are you kidding me? Just walking around, maybe even complimenting people in your head. Maybe you don't say it to their face, but as you're walking by somebody, maybe you're like, ooh, cool shoes, just in your head. Their higher self heard it, right? You're still casting love out there, and just staying optimistic, just broadcasting that positive attitude about the future. You end up manifesting that, and you attract positive energy to yourself. So it just boosts you to a higher level of existence. But this awareness is so key and so important for you guys, that I feel so strongly that ignorance isn't bliss, you guys. And I know a lot of my videos get really repetitive, oh, she's talking about the law of attraction again. Oh, she's talking about self-love again. Snoozeville, heard it, broken record. And it's because they're drilling it into your head. This is exactly the way the divine works. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You're being guided forward. So it's repetition, repetition, repetition. This is exactly how they work, just so you know. So they're repeating it again. Law of attraction, universal energies, self-love, personal power, manifest positive things, stay hopeful and optimistic about the future, and, learn how universal energies do respond to your free will decisions, so that you can be empowered and lead a more conscious life. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.